Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used pure soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new Evacuation Pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is eFoodsDirect.com. Go to their website online right now, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633.
Earth. Healthy, strong, and full of life. But wait, what's that you've got there? It looks like you've got a case of the humans. To be a healthy Earth, all of your elements must be in equilibrium. However, these parasites slaughter all other forms of life. Guzzle your natural resources. And poison your atmosphere. Once contracted, humans act quickly. They multiply over 300,000 a day, consuming anything that crosses their path. Earth is just the start. Who knows what's next?
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Thomas Jefferson. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We are back live, ladies and gentlemen, and James Delingpole, best-selling author, writes for The Telegraph and many other global publications, is our guest. I just played for you the 2007 Berlin Film Festival winner of short films. It's called Humans by Three Legs, and it shows humans not just a scourge on the planet Earth,
the people that brought you Beethoven, the folks that brought you mathematics, the mind of Max Planck envisioning atomic theory, and I mean that's humans. We are a scourge, and it shows us, unfortunately, spreading to space and destroying the universe at the end. I mean, this is incredible. And I was just thinking this morning about how many video clips. I mean, I have ABC News Australia, the headline, Teaching Kids When to Die, and it says if you don't kill yourself by 11 or 14 in the calculations, even if you try to have a good carbon footprint, you must die at 14. Little animals die, and it shows little puppies having their heads chopped up. In fact, guys, pull up the ABC story. ABC tells kids when to die, and then we have the Prison Planet article that actually has screenshots because they pulled it of the heads being cut off of small animals. So the message is small animals are dying, and I talk to parents who still have their children in private school and government brainwashing camps. That's why I homeschool my children. And their young daughters and sons will start crying when they see a construction site or bulldozers, and they say, I need to die. I mean, I've had people at pool parties, tell me this. Their children cry. It's 7-year-olds. It's time for me to die. I'm evil. And then we have, of course, this 1010 project funded through the Climate Exchange and Al Gore, The Guardian, local governments in England funding it, saying it's your choice. And the kids say, I don't want to make carbon cuts. And so they murder them. They blow them up with guts and blood. And then those that submit to the tyranny, they have blood all over them and are horrified. Then they kill footballers and blow up coaches and blow up talk show hosts. And they have a corporate scene where the corporate boss is standing above all his employees with an arrogant, effeminate, behavior these people always have for some reason, and says, oh, lovely, you're not going to do it? Good, I get to kill you. And kills them. So then I have this article. An alternative to the new wave of eco-fascism, The Guardian says why these calls for total tyranny and Nazism are bad. We just need a soft, loving tyranny. So there's a total shift to them saying, look, you won't go along with this, we're going to kill you. James Delingpole, an expert on this, joins us, and we're going to later play a short clip of Pachari saying, hey, we're going to scare the kids. And they've admitted, we don't have the adults. Al Gore says this, we're going right for your children. So are you going to let them indoctrinate your children with an anti-human hate of themselves and how to commit suicide? These people are totally criminal. I mean, they're trying to arrest members of Parliament in Europe who criticize Muslims mildly for hate crime. Is this not a hate crime, teaching kids to commit suicide, James Delingpole?
Well, Alex, I think this is a very significant story. I think it's as significant in its way as last year's ClimateGate. And this story they're calling Splattergate. What's interesting about Splattergate is that it gives us an insight into the eco-fascist mind caught out in an unguarded moment. What's interesting is before this video went out, it was being promoted by the Guardian newspaper, which is, as you know, is part of the enviro-fascist conspiracy. And the filmmakers were discussing this film, and the various Greens involved with it were talking about it, and they were all going, "Oh, isn't this funny? It's a bit naughty, but it'll get our message across all right." And what they had no idea whatsoever that what they were doing was offensive, evil, wrong on so many levels. As far as they were concerned, it was perfectly reasonable to show people who don't believe in man-made global warming, children in a classroom who won't play the eco game, being executed. Because this, unfortunately, is how the enviro-fascists really see the world. Scratch the surface and what you find is a belief in pretty much the same things that the Nazis believed, in population control, in nature being more important than the human species. And this attitude came originally from the Romantics, but it reached its high point in late German Romantics, and that was filtered through Nazi Germany, and then it went.
Well, in the French Revolution, as you're showing your historical knowledge, they wanted to depopulate by 80% and change the work week till 9 days, 1 day off. They want to play God, and they have this romantic idea of killing everybody. Really, it's just a psychopathic cult of mass murderers who have packaged an excuse to be control freak murderers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really special for those of us who've been following this debate for some time, who've been trying to say, look, these are not nice, cuddly, bunny-hugging people. They don't just care about nature. They also hate the human race. And you say this to people, and they go, but hang on a second, what's so wrong with trying to save the world from climate change? What's so wrong about caring about the environment? And you say to them, look, there is nothing wrong with caring about the environment if you're talking about things like sensible conservation measures. But this is something entirely different. This is a concerted campaign to regulate human behavior. It is a concerted campaign to destroy the capitalist system. It is a concerted campaign to ration what they call scarce resources, all in the name of an ecological problem which they invented themselves. It doesn't exist. There is no scientific evidence whatsoever that dangerous man-made climate change is happening. There is no evidence at all. So they have to have this. They haven't got the facts on their side, so what do? They conduct propaganda campaigns like this hideous advert. And it's not the first. Do you remember the one earlier this year, or maybe end of last year, where they had all these polar bears falling out of the skies, dying, smashing into the streets?
And it shows then humans being killed by the climate change, and they had that other one where the kid says, "No more Mr. Nice Guy" by Greenpeace. We're coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. There was the one with that horrible kid in the hood saying, yes, you have not obeyed the ways of greenness, you have not cared for nature, now we will come to destroy you. And there was another Greenpeace ad, again, a couple of years ago, which shows a guy coming to the office, and everyone is kind of making sort of, you're a prick sign, really being horrible to him. And guess what the terrible crime this guy has committed in? He's come to work in a 4x4. These people hate any form of consumption. They hate any form of personal freedom. They want us to...
They hate any form they don't control.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about. It is about...
I mean, when they're flying around in their jets and living in, 20,000 square foot houses and owning their private trains like Prince Charles, that's okay. Yeah. But they're telling old lady pensioners, as you know, in England, we're going to cut your gas off and you can't have a hot bath, okay? But we're going to use welfare money to pay for the Queen.
Well, you read that story. That was quite funny, wasn't it? That Prince Charles, the Queen's son, is going around saying to everybody, going around in his biofuel-powered royal train, saying everyone must cut their carbon emissions. We must impose more green taxes on fossil fuels. And there's his dear old mother, the Queen, applying to the government for emergency old folks desperation aid because her electricity and gas bills have increased by 50%.
Oh.
Why? Because of the green taxes imposed because of people like Prince Charles demanding that, we rein in on our use of fossil fuels.
Now, James, let's go back briefly here with you today to just a few months ago where they did a major university study in Canada and found they were 6 times more likely to steal, to be criminal, to hate their fellow man. This environmentalist guild, and I've met a lot of them, they really just hate everybody, and they see this as a vehicle to boss everybody around and ninny and nanny over everyone. And then you read all these top professors in the U.S., England, Europe, this new one out in the news being praised for saying exterminate people, I'm a Nazi. I mean, they're really a pack of lunatics, but I mean, that study showed this is a pack of criminals.
Yes, but they mean well, Alex. They do it because they care. They want to kill us because they care too much. The thing is, if you asked these people, if you met them at a party or whatever, not that you would want to, but suppose you did, and you started talking to them, they would be perfectly gentle and pleasant people. They don't think of themselves as evil at all. And this is, of course, the problem. There is nothing more dangerous than somebody who is doing terrible things because it's for the good of the world. It's because, they believe that they have rightness and justice.
Well, that's what Hitler said. He was saving us, and he was a big environmentalist.
Yeah, he was. He was absolutely, and so was...
Well, maybe you're bad, James, and maybe I'm bad because we don't think Hitler was good. Maybe we should have the red button pushed on us to show us.
Oh, undoubtedly. I'm sure we already are on the first on their target list, Alex. I don't think you need to worry about that. but yeah, I mean, it's I think that's what's significant about this terrible video. That as I said, it shows them in an unguarded moment.